Hello, welcome back to Voluminum. This is episode 9, and behind me here is something I just finished last night. It is a tree farm, basic universal tree farm by Almango. This one, he just put out a video a week ago, I think. This is the first tree farm I've ever built, by the way. uh, like I said, this is not one that I came up with. This is one by Almango. He's doing a kind of tree farm series right now, I think, basically. So this is the second video he put out, I think, right after like the most basic tree farm you could come up with. So I mean, it isn't crazy, but it's good enough for me. Ah, I got it. Parkour. So this one does oak, birch, spruce, and jungle, and it works. It works really well, and I've kept my promise about TNT duping. This is a dispenser. This is TNT. I actually went over AFK overnight and only went through a stack of TNT somehow. So this uses a lot more bone meal than I thought it would. I filled up these chests down here. Let's get down here. So the version he has in his world download is these chests here, and I filled these up thinking, okay, that'll be plenty. That'll last me a long time. I think it lasted about four hours, and I came back and checked the computer this morning, and my little character was just standing there looking at logs. The dispensers were still going. I was kind of like this, but this log was here, and I was worried. I was like, oh no, something broke. I built something wrong. And I checked I thought I ran out of TNT, so checked the chest. Nope, only used a stack. So that was more concerning. And then I came over here and checked these chests, and all the bone meal was gone. So this thing just deletes bone meal really fast. But I've got plenty of bones, so should be fine. From the general mob farm I can use to get some more bones, but mainly the Nether Fortress mob farm. That gets a lot of bones between the withers and the skeletons as well. Right, so I built this tree farm for a couple reasons. I was tired of going out and chopping down, like deforesting big areas just to make shulker boxes. I also need a lot of spruce trees for another big project that I want to start soon. And spruce trees are really annoying to cut down because they're just a one by one. They grow pretty tall, and most of them, like, you go to cut down, and they're just a little bit too tall. So you end up having to like pillar up a little bit and then get the little bit at the top you can't reach. So this is really it doesn't do spruce the fastest. I think the fastest it does is birch at 12k an hour. I think the rest are about 8,500 an hour, like oak, jungle, and spruce. But that's still plenty. This is what I got overnight here. I say overnight, it was only shortly after I went to bed. But I've got just a super simple sorter here. But this is the spruce we've got. The 4 double chests. That's plenty. And all it took was me building this machine and standing there AFK. So that's really awesome. And like I said, this does all 4 of these tree types. It does not do acacia. It's kind of unfortunate, but maybe I'll come up with a design or find one that includes acacia here soon. Acacia isn't really necessary. Oh, it doesn't do dark oak either. Dark oak, yeah, that's right. But that's okay because I think there is a design for a 2x2 like massive dark oak farm as well. It just doesn't include, or the machine with a dispenser for TNT. It's actually really hard to find a showcase of a tree farm that doesn't have a TNT duper attached to it. Okay, but I'm getting off track here. I built this tree farm, one, to help make shulker box crafting a lot easier because I obviously use a ton of those. So needing wood is a priority all the time now. But for a new project that I want to do, I need a lot of spruce. And it's actually going to be a villager trading hall in the end. Like the villager trading hall that I'm gonna make for this world. These guys are still in this hole here. There's still a few in here. They've been in here for a long time now, since episode 1 actually. So I know this is basically the big current project we're on now, is the Guardian Farm perimeter we're working on. And like I said, this is a square, but this is the area I have to drain. This is not the shape of the perimeter that I'll be digging. Like I said, it'll be more like a diamond, and then the edges will kind of stagger down and kind of spread out. So it'll start small and kind of spread out on both ends and stagger down. It'll look cool once once all the water's gone and I can start digging, and you'll see the outline of it. But I've actually been working on the drainer machine, and this is one by Comet 107 on YouTube. And the version he has in his world download is pretty small. It would only do like a quarter of this, so I had to extend it. And that's it there. So this is just a schematic of it, obviously. But this is the area that we're going to need to flatten in order for it to work properly. So I still have a lot of flattening to do. But the machine is ready to go. Well, the schematic is ready to go. I'll have to do a lot of building once I get this area flattened, and then it's ready to be drained. That is loud, jeez. There was an island like that just over here that I'm pretty much done with. I gotta move that conduit over there now to start on that one, and then the rest will need to be flattened as well. I think I'm gonna try and get this down as low as I can. So I think the lowest area is like 27 or 29. Looking at block 29. So I'm gonna try and get everything down to like 30, I think, or 31 maybe. And then I'll have just a little bit of water left that I can just sponge. It won't be a big deal. There won't be many spots like that. But if I can get most of it down to that low, it'll be very helpful. I've started some work on a little nether hub kind of thing here. So this is my spawn portal right there, or to go to spawn. This is for the looting witch hut. That portal over there is back to the base. And that one goes to, I don't know, I forgot where that one goes to. And I had to move the ocean monument portal, that's where we just came from, to the side. I need to just line this back up. This little thing here is cool. It's just a little speedrunning path, and I'm gonna have this kind of thing around to like the nearby portals, but ones that go off a little bit further will have like a line like that, minecart track, or a piston bolt in the future to things like the nether mob farm or the blaze switch for the nether. I might have one going each direction. But that line there is actually from the base where the villagers are in the hole. I don't know if I've shown this. I'll just I'll just tell you really quick. This just goes to the stronghold. So I've already set up the rail to go to the stronghold for when we start moving villagers, because that is something I want to have done actually before 1.16. And I've been procrastinating because I didn't think 1.16 was going to come out at the beginning of this year, but it's looking like it is. There was a snapshot this past week, and as eager as I am to update my world to 1.16, I'm going to wait until at least like the first or second pre-release for 1.16, because they could change generation a little bit. Also, there's basically no AI for the hoglins, the big pigs, and they haven't added in the piglins, the new mob, like basically the new pigmen. So there's, besides like the new nether biomes, there's not much really a point in updating. Oh well, I mean, there is netherite, but I'm not too concerned with that really, because it's only a little bit better than diamond. In a way that like the durability is a little bit more. How do I show? Okay, I forget how you show the stats on these things, but the durability is lasts longer than diamond. But the netherite gear looks really cool. It has knockback by default. See, this has toughness +2. I think the netherite has +3 toughness and +1 or 2 knockback, something like that. So it's definitely an upgrade that I'll be getting, but it's not something I need right now. As well as the tools. Like, I have a shulker box of picks. Who thought that that sound would be good to be played in your ear in the end? Like, what is that supposed to be? Okay, anyways. So this is shovels. I don't have a shulker box of that yet, but yeah, I already have a shulker of diamond picks. I think the netherite picks will mine obsidian a little faster, so definitely worth getting, but again, that's something I need right now. So I've got a little rail up to the portal that the villager hall is going to be in. So this rail, when I bring villagers into the end, you know, they'll pop right here, and then I'll have to place some rails down and get them on this minecart track. There are no rails down right now, obviously, because they would just disappear when I came into the end. That's the shulker farm over there in that portal. So let's go up here. This is where the villagers are going to come up. Oh, this is grueling. They'll come up here, and I've already done some bedrock breaking on this portal just to get the villagers to go in there. It should just fly in there. I don't think I'll have to knock him out of the minecart. I think he should just come up and go into this portal or into the gateway. And if you remember, this is a void gateway, so it's out here in the void. There's no island. This is the east gateway, but it's the one right above the obsidian platform that we come into the inn. So this is the most convenient one to get to. So this is where the villager hall is going to be. And if I didn't clarify before, the villager hall is going to be in the end in this void area because it'll be the least laggy place to have a villager hall, because villagers are very laggy by default, and having them in the overworld with other mobs spawning as well, or other things in the area, like if I build that around where the base is, I have the sorting system over there, and now I've got a tree farm and all the other things. So this is the best place to have a villager hall. You can see I marked out a little platform here. It's gonna be really big. I've already got the schematic for that done as well. I've just got to start collecting materials for it. So that is the plan this episode, is to start work on this villager hall. Oh, and I thought I'd show you this really quick. I added a little area down here with a little chunk loader. I showed you this before over at the Wither mob switch. This is the same design. It's just here loading my storage. I would place a bot here, like with carpet installed. It's really nice to have a bot. Bots being able to be placed anywhere to load areas. At first I did that, but then I realized it was over the mob cap. And while I was out there at the guardian farm fighting in the ocean, I was getting guardian spawns. So I've got to go add more withers, I think, to the mob switch, which isn't hard. All I gotta do is turn it on and cycle some more soul sand through there, and it'll make some more withers for me. I needed to go up to like 150 probably to be safe. So if I need a bot to load something, I'll have a 2-player mob switch basically. But this is good enough because this loads redstone, and if I'm unloading shulker boxes here at the storage, this will keep this area loaded without me being here. And I did update the input system, so I think I just had this up here before. This comes from the input chest here, goes down, and this is the same down to, let's see, down to here. This is the same as well. This is the shulker box unloader, and the empty ones go up this dropper, drop provider. But this is new here. So now the items will go out into this hopper line, and then out from the shulker loader into this hopper line as well, and they both go into this system here. And this is a little system to better clump the items that are going up this water stream here. because it was actually a bigger issue than I thought it would be. There was a lot more items getting into the overflow chest. It was honestly, it was pretty bad. It was like half and half. Like half were being sorted and the other half were being skipped over the hoppers into the overflow chests. So clumping them together is pretty necessary, I'd say, for sorting systems like this. So this is really simple. I don't have anything. I don't have any on me, but you know, it filters down the items or the shulker boxes, and the items come from those into this. And this, once they get into this dropper here, it just starts a little clock to open this trap door after a certain amount of items are spit out, then closes it, and the items go around and they stop here on this trap door, and then this one opens after a certain time, and they go through in big clumps, and they are sorted 100% of the time now. So no items are skipping over the hoppers, and the only items going into the overflow chests are items that aren't sorted right now, which is, you know, things like this, like random things that I've gotten to. Oh, TNT. These grass blocks shouldn't be in here. This may be before I did that, because there was a fair bit of items in these chests here. This was like filled to these chests here. It was pretty bad. So upgrading that input system was necessary. Let me get these grass blocks out of here. Where are they? Let's see. Right here. Actually, let's go check on this. This system I built from Samus to Sage is great, but he doesn't clarify that you need to have some of these droppers with empty shulkers in them. So you need to, this is where you fill the chest with empty shulkers, but by default it doesn't filter down into this dispenser that dispenses the empty shulkers. They're in these chests here, and you see this is the hopper, into this dropper, and so on. But as you can see, it's locked. So you have to manually place a shulker into there, this dropper, and this dropper. Because the way the system works is when it breaks, this fills up, and it breaks it and dispenses a new one, it only sends one shulker through this line. So if you put empty shulkers in here and you don't put any in this hopper or these droppers, it isn't going to dispense another shulker. And so when the system thinks that when it can't dispense a shulker, it thinks it's empty and triggers this here and locks the hopper from picking up any more items. And so obviously everything's going to skip over the hopper because it's locked. It can't detect that it's getting the right item passed over it, and they just go into the overflow chest. So if you build this, just know that you need to put a shulker in here, this hopper, at least one shulker, and this hopper and these two droppers, and then the system will work fine. Then you can just load all your empty shulkers into this chest and not worry about it, because when the system cycles, it'll send one empty shulker at a time, and it'll work fine. I heard a zombie and was really confused. But we've got another raid. Is it a raid? No, it's a... What is it called? The zombie siege, that's what they're called. And it's weird that, like, you can still have a mob switch. You can go through the trouble of having a mob switch, but then you still have to deal with things like this. Like these zombie sieges. And also phantoms. Phantoms don't care about mob switches either. Okay, quick update on the villager trading hall material collection. So, let me just show you really quick. This is a material list. It's a pretty hefty list. I want to emphasize how big this villager trading hall is. It's big enough that I think that it was made for a server. I'll credit the video that I watched and the person that made this design of the trading hall. It's not a design made by me. it is a design made by someone else, but and like I said, I'll credit and show who came up with it. But this is I took my own spin on it. So if we look at the top here, the thing we need the most is cyan terracotta. This is the majority of the build. And if you look there, 4,571 cyan terracotta. And that is a lot of cyan terracotta. So I think it's 71 stacks, which is almost 3 shulker boxes. That actually isn't that bad, I don't think, now that I look at it. Concrete we need a lot of. Yeah. So we're just here gathering some terracotta. I don't know if I showed that I found this Mesa biome, but I did. Pretty far away. It was I had to go really far west. Look at the top left there. I'll just show you in F3 actually. Yeah, we're 10,000 blocks in the Z coordinate and about 2,500 in the X. This is pretty far away, but I'm just glad we found it. But yeah, this is doing some terracotta collecting, and then we'll get back to the rest of it. Alright, this has turned out a lot more boring than I thought that it would be to record. Decided to record today of all days. Just material collecting. A quick update. Again, this machine behind me here is a stone generator. This is another one of Elmango's machines. And it's super simple. It just lets the lava flow down just enough to make some stone, then pushes it out with pistons. And this is on a clock that way, and as well as that way. And we're using legit TNT. I just stole some from the tree farm over there. And this thing is satisfying to watch. Ah, yes. It actually gives so much stone that the hopper down there can't pick it up. So I'm going to need to put a minecart hopper down there, I think, and then set it on top of two hoppers so I can... You know what, I might need a double speed sorter for this, just this one, because this is so fast. This makes, like, honestly, stacks of TNT, stacks of cobblestone at a time. Let's see how many we got here, just from that. Look at that, that's ridiculous. I almost feel dirty doing it. It almost feels like duping, but it's not. It's legit TNT, it's legit stone, you know, that's made from lava, but stone nonetheless. But that's actually a good segue into me apologizing for the monotone voiceover I have. I try my best to sound more energetic and interesting, but it isn't something I do often. My full-time job is me sitting alone in an office for 10 hours, so having long conversations into a mic is just a little uncomfortable. Normally, when playing, I just listen to a podcast or music and kind of just zone out. It's almost disorienting to pause whatever I'm doing and take time to record a clip, but I'm getting used to it and trying to stay consistent. But it's become apparent to me that this perimeter will take quite a while. So instead of promising it by a certain episode, I'll just chip away at it and show progress as I do. But in the meantime, we'll work on some other things I've got ideas for as well. Again, sorry for the talky episode. Just kind of got in the speaking my mind mood, and it kind of helps me sort things in my head as well. But I hope you're as ready to see this trading hall build as I am. It's been a lot of work designing and putting my own touch on the layout of this thing, so it's going to be a tremendous task building, but well worth the effort. And that will do it for episode 9. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
I swear to